On1 is a raw photo editor that promises to be everything you need all in one app. So today I'm going to put it up against my own workflow and see how it compares. I usually use Capture One and Infinity Photo, and so I have those opened here. I have a portrait, I have a landscape, and I have a nature photo that we're going to be editing today. So I'm going to go through and edit these photos, and I'm going to start with my own workflow first. So I'm going to hit the timer, and we're going to begin right now. I started out by editing the photos inside of Capture One, and in order to save a little bit of time, I ended up using my own presets. Link in the description for my Capture One presets. From there, it was just a matter of tweaking the photos to get them the way I liked. And everything was going smoothly until I got to the elephant photo. I feel like this photo is missing something in terms of color, but I'm not really sure what. I was wasting a lot of time tweaking the photo because I just felt like something was wrong with it, and it took me a while until I realized that I had made a big rookie mistake. I should have done that first. I didn't realize the white balance was off. Oops. No wonder it wasn't really working out in my favor. I didn't have the right white balance. I don't know why I missed that. Thankfully, Capture One has a great auto white balance feature, so after just one click, I was back on track, and I finished up editing the photos inside of Capture One, and I was ready to bring the photos into Infinity Photo to finish up the edits. In Infinity Photo, I went through the process of retouching the portrait. I then did a quick sky replacement for the landscape photo. And finally, I did a little bit of cleanup on the elephant photo. But after that, I was done. Okay, pause. So that took 31 minutes and 12 seconds. That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So now let's see how that compares to doing everything inside of On1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, start. The race was on, and I started editing the portrait, and the first thing I did was use On1's No Noise AI feature to remove the noise from the photo, and it did a great job at it. This isn't the noisiest photo in the world, but it certainly benefits from having a little bit of no noise. I then did some minor color adjustments before I went into retouching. Unlike a lot of other photo editors, On1 almost exclusively uses sliders for their retouching. That didn't give me high hopes for this photo, but first impressions were pretty good. It's already doing a pretty good job, actually. I'm kind of impressed. But this would be short-lived as I started running into some issues. Normally this is pretty good about knowing where the eyes are, but this time it did not get it. It's only doing one brow? Interesting. See, that's the downside of automatic stuff like this, is sometimes it just doesn't work properly, which I find really annoying. What is happening? Why is that not blending? You know what? I'm not going to bother with the mouth. I think it's fine. I kept running into issues where the retouching tools just weren't recognizing her facial features, and they weren't applying the effects properly. But once I got it to a good enough point, I just decided to move on. I'm just going to roll with it. I think it looks fine. Moving on to the landscape photo, I again started by adjusting the colors, and then I went into the sky replacement tool. On1 gives you a ton of different skies to choose from, and it applies everything automatically, and it only took me a few clicks to get a sky that I was happy with. I think this one works, either this one or Blue Velvet. Let's go with this one. We can change it to in here. I like that one. We're going to go with that one. Yeah, I mean, it did a pretty good job. It's just messing up a little bit here. So let's see if we can adjust that a little bit. Yeah, that was very quick and easy. I do like that one. After a quick adjustment to the mask, I moved on to the last photo, and this time I remembered to adjust the white balance first. After that, I did mostly the same edits I did in my own workflow, and I made a realization. See, the thing is, I think I saved so much time on the sky replacement on the landscape photo that I just have a lot more time to mess around with this photo and get it the way I want. Yeah, before and after. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to stop it right now. So that took 19 minutes and 30 seconds. So I saved about 10 minutes editing 3 photos. Now, if you were to stack that entire time saving across, an entire photo shoot with hundreds of photos, it could save a lot of time doing this. And I didn't even use any presets in this either. Because if I didn't use any presets in Capture One, it would have taken probably even longer to edit every photo. But because I used my own presets, I was able to save some time with that. And On1 was still able to save me over 10 minutes. But that is enough about that. So now let's go into the things I liked and didn't like about On1. And something I truly love about On1 is all the different effects that we have in here. So all these different filters in here are awesome. I've never seen another RAW editor have a channel mixer like this. I love using the channel mixer all the time in Affinity Photo for color grading, and so having it inside ON1 is a blessing. I was kind of surprised it handles color grading as well as it does, because the reason I stick with Capture One is because the color science in that is so good. I love it so much. I never get any artifacts if I'm adjusting hue and saturation. I was surprised to see that in ON1, I also never ran into any of those issues. Also, with all the AI features that they're pushing and the way that AI is these current days, I wasn't expecting much, but there are some AI features in here that I was very pleasantly surprised by. The no noise AI works fantastic for every photo that I've thrown at it so far, and I've been very pleasantly surprised by that. And I didn't talk about this earlier, but in ON1, in the Browse tab here, you actually have AI keywords here, so it'll automatically put AI tags on here for what it thinks is in the photo. It's not always the most accurate because it thinks this one is a child, but if you have a catalog with like hundreds of different photos, I feel like this could easily help you parse through those photos pretty quickly. And from my testing, the AI masking tools seem to work pretty well, especially for things like sky replacement. As you saw earlier, this was able to replace the sky, and I only had to make a few adjustments to it. And there are a ton of different AI features I didn't even showcase in this video that ON1 can do, like generative fill and AI presets. And there's a feature in here called AI Style Advisor. It will actually learn your style for when you edit your photos, and it will allow you to apply those presets to future photos. As you can see, it's still learning my styles. So I'm excited to see how that works once it learns my style. But of course, there are some things I did not like about ON1 as well. For starters, I didn't really run into this problem right now, but earlier when I was learning ON1 and doing all my tests with it, it did seem pretty laggy. Ooh, that is laggy. I do not like that. You see how long it takes it to catch up to my mouse? So when I'm trying to adjust colors and stuff and it's lagging like that, it's so irritating for me. It just completely takes me out of editing the photos and it makes it so much less fun. And I did also have a crash at one point earlier. Oh, can I just... Okay, I pressed Ctrl Z and it crashed. But I've only had one crash so far, and I've been using it a little over a month, so I think that's a good sign. And when it comes to retouching photos, I really wish we had a little bit more manual control. So for example, the method it's using is frequency separation, but as far as I know, we don't have access to individual high frequency or low frequency edits. And I would love to see a way for us to have just a little bit more manual control with that, and actually go in and be able to edit texture separately or color separately, rather than just using sliders here. And one more thing I'll mention is if you are someone who likes to shoot tethered, this does have tethered shooting, but only for Canon and Nikon. So if you shoot on a Sony or anything else, you're kind of out of luck unless they add that in the future. But with all of this being said, I do recommend ON1. I think it is a great value for the money, especially since it is a buy one time and you just have it. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than Capture One. In fact, I'll say that if I didn't purchase Capture One already, and all I had was ON1 and Affinity Photo, I think I would be more than happy, and I would be able to do just about anything I need to do with my photos. If you're interested in checking out ON1, I'll leave a link in the description so that you can try it out for 30 days before you buy. And if you do decide to buy, it's only a one-time purchase. You don't have to do a subscription, which is awesome. So yeah, go check out ON1. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a good day. See ya.